Hey there and welcome. So today we are going to dive into 14 fantastic ways to say something is easy. We'll walk through plenty of examples for each one so you can start using them right away and sound, a little more like a native speaker. Let's jump right in. You know that feeling when you just keep saying the same phrase over and over? If you're looking for some more colorful, more expressive ways to say something is simple, well, you are definitely in the right place. In this quick guide, we're going to totally level up your vocabulary with some of the most common and useful idioms in English. By the end of this, you'll have this awesome new toolkit to make your conversations way more interesting. All right, so let's kick things off with a few expressions you've probably heard before. These are the absolute classics, and they're usually tied to simple everyday ideas that pretty much everyone can relate to. First up, a piece of cake. This is probably the most famous idiom for easy in the entire English language. And it makes perfect sense, right? Eating a delicious slice of cake is a very easy and very pleasant thing to do. And that's exactly what you're saying about the task. See? You can use it just like that. If a task takes almost zero effort, you can confidently say it was a piece of cake. Simple, right? Okay, next up we've got a few that come straight from childhood. Child's play literally means something as simple as a game for kids. Easy as ABC points to the alphabet, which is, one of the very first things we all learn. And easy peasy lemon squeezy, well, that's just a super fun, kind of silly rhyming phrase that adds a playful little touch. Oh, you will hear this one all the time. When you think of rocket science, you picture all these crazy complex equations and NASA control rooms. So when you say something is not rocket science, you're kind of making a joke, saying it's the total opposite of that. It's, simple. Okay, moving on. Our next bunch of idioms uses physical actions to describe just how effortless a task really is. We're talking no sweat, no stress, just pure and simple ease. Just picture it, a nice, relaxing stroll through a beautiful park. That's exactly what this idiom feels like. It describes something that isn't just easy, but it's also pleasant. If a project is totally stress-free, this is the perfect phrase. For instance, you could say, taking good photos is a walk in the park if you have a good camera. Okay, now these two are super similar, but there's a tiny little difference. I could do it with my eyes closed means you know a task so well you don't even have to look. But I could do it in my sleep. That takes it a step further. It implies the task is so automatic, so deep in your muscle memory, you could literally do it while you're unconscious. Let's look at a few more that really hammer home the idea of absolute simplicity. It's a breeze is a nice one. It connects that feeling of ease to a gentle, pleasant wind. Anyone can do it. It's pretty straightforward. It means you need zero special skills. And it's foolproof. I love this one. It means the system is so perfectly designed that it's impossible to mess up. All right, hold on a second. We need to talk about these next two expressions because they're a little bit tricky. They both mean easy, sure, but they have this extra layer of meaning, so you've got to be careful with them. Okay, here's the deal with this one. Taking candy from a baby is obviously easy, but it's also a really mean thing to do. So you should only use this idiom when the easy task is something negative or unethical, like cheating or stealing. You would never say passing a test was like taking candy from a baby. And it's kind of the same idea with shooting fish in a barrel. It creates this really strong image, right? The fish can't escape, so it's ridiculously easy. This implies that you have a huge and maybe even unfair advantage in a situation. But, and this is important, that advantage doesn't have to be a bad thing. In this example, the advantage is just skill, and experience. For a pro mechanic, changing a car's oil is incredibly simple because they're an expert. Okay, you've seen all the expressions, you've heard the examples, so how about a little quiz to see what stuck? We'll do a super quick review to help lock these in. Ready? All right, first question. Driving a car is not rocket. What? That's right, science. It might feel a little tricky at first, but it's definitely not rocket science. Okay, next up. That really simple test you took, it was a piece of cake? You got it. A piece of cake. Awesome. And for our last one, you're an absolute pro at something. You could do it in your sleep. Yes, perfect. See, you've totally got this. Great job on the review. And there you have it. Just like that, you've added 14 new, expressive, and really useful idioms to your English vocabulary. That was a breeze, wasn't it? So now I've got a question for you. Which one of these are you going to try out first? Think about it and go out there and make your English sound amazing today.